right, we're good to go. We are live. Oh, there we go. Now we're perfect.
Yep.
Everything is right in the world when I'm on the left side, Dan's on the right side.
Yep. We're cooking now. So.
Oh yeah. So what's going on tonight, Dan?
So we got tonight's generic trivia, like we like to call it. I don't really know what we're gonna call it. General trivia.
We did actually make like specific rounds.
We did do specific rounds this time. I only made the first round. So I don't know what else to expect.
Actually, I think the round that you made, hold on, actually ends up being round 2. So
okay.
We'll give them a little preview. We've got film, novels, sports, music, and a mystery round that's actually round 3, but I don't want to give it away.
A mystery round, okay.
I feel like it's gonna be interesting. So
I like the sound of that. So
I think people will do well that round, but it's always kind of hard to tell just because depends on how good they are with geography. It's kind of a form of geography.
I feel like you kind of gave it away there, but maybe not.
It's kind of a form of it. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, guys, if you are not watching this live, we're getting a lot of people that are not watching it live, which is totally fine. But come join us live because you can actually play and enjoy yourself a little bit. Pretty soon, we're going to be monetized as a channel, and we're going to start doing prizes only to people that are on live, though. So every Monday and Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we go live. So definitely make sure you check it out there. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We got to get to those 1,000 subscribers, which we're climbing pretty quickly towards. So once we get there and we get a certain amount of watch hours, we can monetize and start giving away prizes.
That's right. So
and then Dan, one last thing, and then we're gonna get this thing going. You've got a video coming out either Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, so we got one on Saturday. It's going to be going out. And it's going to be sports team trivia specifically. So that's going to be an interesting one. Not necessarily sports. It's going to be about the sports teams in general. So I think it's going to be
forward to that one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of tough. I think there's going to be some tough ones in there. But also, we'll see. So.
All right. We're going to kick her off with film. Let me get this thing going here. Start that. Let me pull that off. Switch to that and share my screen. How we looking here?
Looks good. We're doing the countdown. So the first, this one is film.
It is. You want to do it or you want me to?
I'll let you do this one.
All right.
I'll let you do this one since you did the question.
All right, number 1. In the movie Monsters, Inc., who voices Sully? John Goodman, Billy Crystal, Ben Affleck, Will Smith.
So we have 2 of them on here that are in the movie. And the funny thing is, my immediate thought was when I was thinking of Sully, I was thinking of Mike. Mike's the little green one, and that's voiced by Billy Crystal. But Sully is John Goodman. Did you know? So we're watching with Billy now, Monsters at Work. It's a new show on Disney Plus, and Billy Crystal and John Goodman are back to voice the characters.
Are they really?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
That is cool. That's Lila's current favorite right now. Tess and her watched it the one day, and that is now Lila's new favorite currently, which that changes pretty much weekly. So we'll see what the next one is, but that's the current favorite. All right, number 2. Which actor plays Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars episodes 1 through 3? Alec Guinness, Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson. So this actually was a question. I mean, I would love to stake claim to this and say that I came up with it, but I did not. This actually was a game question.
Really? I would have definitely guessed that you guessed that one.
No, this is actually one that the game had, and I thought it might be a little bit easy, but it's hard to say. Depends on how up to date on Star Wars material everybody is. All these actors have been part of Star Wars movies.
Yeah, so Ewan McGregor is reprising his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the new Obi-Wan series coming on Disney Plus next year. So that'll be a lot of fun. It's like everyone got that. You are not making hard enough questions, apparently, Kyle.
Well, no, blame the game on that one. That was definitely.
Mhm.
I should have spiced it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Next time. All right, number 3. What actor plays Steve Stifler in the American Pie movie franchise? Jason Biggs, Sean William Scott, Chris Klein, Johnny Knoxville.
You definitely made this one. You had to have. Kyle loves the American Pie films.
I do. We just rewatched all of them.
Whatever happened to Sean William Scott? I feel like he had like a bunch of movies he was doing other than American Pie, even like in the early 2000s. And then I think his shtick kind of wore out pretty quick because he kind of plays the same doofus in every movie.
I was gonna say, I think that was kind of the main thing. I think he just kind of typecast that he can't really. But didn't he voice one of the characters from Ice Age or something?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
I never saw the movies, but I'm pretty sure he did. I think he does a bunch of voiceover work now.
Oh, well, honestly, that's the way to go. You go on the Mark Hamill route. That's honestly, you make good money and you don't have to work nearly as hard.
And you probably don't get like trampled by paparazzi because nobody really knows you're famous.
True.
So, all right, number 4. In The Shining, what is the little boy's name? Tommy, Terry, Danny, or Donnie?
So the sequel to The Shining just came out a couple years ago, Dr. Sleep, and Ewan McGregor actually plays an adult version of this character. He plays the adult version of Danny Torrance, using his shining abilities to help people.
I still haven't seen it. I really want to. I mean, I love Ewan McGregor, and I really like The Shining.
I finally watched it last October, and I'm not gonna lie, it creeped me the hell out. It was a good movie. Yeah. It was very good, really, really good, and it was creepy as heck. Like, there's definitely some scenes that like really got me squirmy, and that doesn't happen very often. But I was like very uncomfortable in a couple scenes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it.
Like, not from gore, just the situational horror, I guess you could say.
Number 5, in the Friday the 13th series, what is Jason's mother's first name? Mary, Pamela, Christine, Angeline. Now, I know Dan's going to know this.
Yeah, so fun fact about this actually is her name is actually just Mrs. Voorhees in the first movie. It's not until I think part 4 or 5 you see her gravestone and it actually has the name. So Pamela Voorhees wasn't actually created until I think like part 4, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people got that.
I thought you'd get a few people on that.
I figured I'd get a few people on that one. I think. Oh, no, Mitch missed that.
Always count on Mitch. Mitch always gets them right when everyone else gets them wrong, and then
that's true.
And then prevents everyone from getting the social.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what do we got here? End of first round.
I think it's going to come down to time on this.
It's definitely going to come down.
A lot of people did well in this round. It's going to come down to who went the fastest.
So it looks like Stephanie got 1, Sean 1, and Buff Edits with 1. And then wow, we had a couple other people. Caden, Sam, and Curtis all had 5 as well. Just came down to timing. So
everybody did well on
everyone did really well.
The other night it was the Olympic one the other night where we had a lot of really rough scores.
Yeah, let's see how we do on part 2. This is the one I did. We got novels coming up, so this is going to be. I think it'll be a little harder than the film one, but I don't know. I think it'll be okay. It's fine. Everything's fine.
There's a couple of them I think that are going to be going to trip some people up. Depends on how much people read.
Yeah, so if you're like Kyle and you read maybe 2 books in your entire life,
my problem is I reread the same stuff. Like, I've read the Harry Potter books like 5 times, but I just keep reading them.
Question number 1: which famous spy novelist wrote the children's story Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Joseph Conrad, Ian Fleming, John Buchan, or Graham Greene? Talk about an interesting name, Graham Greene.
Graham Greene.
I feel like poor Graham got beat up as a child for just that like alliterative name. Graham Greene.
Yeah,
So it
he's that kid that was shoved in his locker, I think.
Yeah. So it was Ian Fleming, the creator of James Bond, also created Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which is oddly enough, Kyle and I watched that. We watched that movie more than we probably should have as kids. Like that's a weird movie.
We watched that way too much.
And it has like the child catcher in there, and it's a weird movie.
I was gonna say it's kind of a creepy, weird thing. But yeah, the three of us, because Brad watched it a lot with us too. And we watched it way too much.
Question number 2. Under what pseudonym did Stephen King publish 5 novels between 1977 to 1984? J.D. Robb, Richard Bachman, Mark Twain, or Lewis Carroll? So a couple authors have actually done this before. Actually, I shouldn't say a couple. A lot of them have. So like Michael Crichton was John Lang because he was a tall guy. So it was like a play on, Lang being long, because Michael Crichton was like 6'8". So before he was Michael Crichton, like the famous author, he was John Lang as his pen name. So it is Richard Bachman. Wow, most people got that. Maybe.
And then there's Mitch.
We got some Stephen King fans here. I guess you could probably narrow it down between J.D. Robb and Richard Bachman. I don't know. Mark Twain and Lewis Carroll are obviously already pretty well known. So that was probably a process of elimination. All right, question.
I feel like Mark Twain was like the originator of doing that.
That's true. Who was the author of Lord of the Flies? So Stephen King, F. Scott Fitzgerald, William Golding, or Hunter Fox? So, people remember F. Scott Fitzgerald for one novel. And it's kind of a shame because he actually, from what I understand, I've never actually read anything other than I've read The Great Gatsby, probably 6 times in different classes. Especially in college, I read it a lot. But from what I understand, he actually had a couple of really good ones. But Kyle, any guesses here?
I was going to go with 3.
We actually this was actually a lot more disparity than I thought. Yeah, so William Golding wrote Lord of the Flies. Yeah, F. Scott Fitzgerald was known for The Great Gatsby. Obviously, Stephen King's Stephen King. And I believe William Golding only wrote Lord of the Flies, and that's all that was really popular, to be honest. Question number 4. What is the name of the protagonist in Catcher in the Rye? Fletcher Christian, Jay Gatsby, Holden Caulfield, or Randall Flagg?
I definitely know this one.
Steph said, how did Kyle know that? Yeah, that's...
I may or may not have peeked at the answer earlier.
That's funny. So this one is Holden Caulfield, and Catcher in the Rye is pretty much considered by a lot of people to be that, and actually The Great Gatsby are pretty much number 1 and 2 in greatest American novels ever written. I prefer The Great Gatsby a lot more. Catcher in the Rye, it's okay.
I don't really remember what happens in Catcher in the Rye. I remember the name Holden Caulfield, but we read it in like 10th grade, so I don't remember what happens.
Kyle's like, books.
Yeah.
It's almost over, Kyle. One more question. Question number 5. What's the second book in a Song of Fire and Ice series? A Clash of Kings, A Dance with Dragons, A Storm of Swords, or A Feast of Crows? A Feast for Crows. So the people that
I'd never even heard of this.
Well, that's Game of Thrones. Song of Fire and Ice is a Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So those who don't know, Song of Fire and Ice is just the Game of Thrones.
Huh.
From what I've never read them. It's not really my style, my genre I prefer to read, but I understand that they're pretty good, very detailed.
I was gonna say, aren't they like 1,000, like well over 1,000 pages each?
Yeah. So it is a Clash of Kings. Looks like Curtis is the only one.
Curtis.
Sean says not a Game of Thrones fan. Honestly, Sean, I can never get into it either. My wife and I tried, and I haven't yet. I'm going to give it another try. But after hearing the letdown of season 7 and 8, I don't know if I even bother. All right, so what we got here? Looks like we got a couple recurring ones. Looks like Curtis is on the board. And Buff Edits has 2, and Stephanie has 2. What do we got next, Kyle?
The secret one, U.S. state capitals.
U.S. state, the super secret.
I'm telling you, this is going to be harder, I think, than people think it's going to be.
Yeah, Sean gave it 3 tries. I think, in my opinion, and I know people are like, oh, you just got to push through and stuff. Like, we got through most of the first season, and I was just bored.
It's kind of like Breaking Bad for me. Like, it's a good show, but I can't get past, like, 2.5 seasons of it because it's, like, so depressing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah.
Like, it's a good first 2.5 seasons, and then at that point, I'm just like, okay, I'm done. All right, what is the state capital of Oregon? Portland, Eugene, Grants Pass, Salem.
Oof.
Does Dan know the answer?
I do not. I'm going to do process elimination here and say it's probably not Grants Pass.
Got a lot. I got everybody on this one. I told you this wasn't going to be easy.
I was going to guess Salem, but
You would be right.
That would have been a lucky, only because I looked, everyone didn't answer 3 or 4, and I didn't think it was Grants Pass because I've never heard of that. Salem, Oregon. Isn't that where the Goonies, wasn't that right around where the Goonies was filmed, or no?
Goonies was Astoria. So was Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, you're right. Kindergarten Cop's a great film.
Oh yeah.
Getting off tangent here, but
anything with Arnold. All right, number 2. What's the state capital of Texas? Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Fort Worth.
I'm going to go with Austin. I believe it is Austin because Dallas and Fort Worth are essentially considered the same city. And then San Antonio, I don't believe is really much of anything other than a city there, but I don't think it's. I'm going with Austin.
A lot of people going.
Looks Austin. Like a lot of people, yeah, because I believe Dallas Fort Worth is essentially considered one metropolitan area, and I highly doubt they'd have one of them be the state capital, not the other.
Yeah, I probably should have thought that one out a little bit better. Yeah, I didn't really think about the fact that they're literally like right next to each other.
Hooray!
Trying to remember. Oh, yeah, there's some good ones.
Yeah. Do you have any fun facts
that
about?
That one was the easiest one, so enjoy that.
Unfortunately, I don't have any fun facts about Austin.
What's the state capital of Wyoming? Jackson, Laramie, Cheyenne, Casper.
Is it Cheyenne? I'm going to go with Cheyenne. That's my guess. I'm putting in my final answer.
Do you follow Dan? Because half the time he's right on these when he says follow him, or do you go the other direction?
I'm not saying follow me. I'm not saying that.
A lot of 3s and 4s.
Look at this. Look who's tardy to the party. Finally decided to show up.
Yeah, there he is. It is 3. It is Cheyenne.
See?
I can't believe nobody went with Jackson or Laramie. I thought for sure somebody would pick that.
Was that did you make that up or?
No, those are real places.
Jackson sounded almost so
Well, Jackson, I think,
generic.
is where Jackson Hole is. I think.
Probably.
Know. Maybe I'm just making that up. I don't know. All right, number 4. What's the state capital of Florida? Gainesville, Tallahassee, Tampa, Daytona.
I do know this one. Stephanie's going to lose her lead here. She said she's clearly so good at geography. I don't think she's gotten one right.
Mitch went with 23.
That's an interesting guess, All
right, what is it, Dan?
It's Tallahassee, correct?
Yes.
The only thing I know Gainesville, Florida is that's where the University of Florida is. That's probably all it's really known for, at least that I know of.
Yeah.
Tampa's just where a bunch of old people live, and Daytona's where people race. That's essentially how I think of that.
And I saved, I think, the hardest. Of course, I don't know. The Oregon one may have been the hardest one, but I think I saved the hardest one for last.
Watch, what is it gonna be like? I don't even know. What's a hard state capital?
What's the state capital of Vermont? Stowe, Killington, Montpelier, Burlington.
Oh, definitely going Montpelier because Kyle never would have pronounced that correctly if he didn't know. That's my theory on that one. I don't even know if that's is that how you pronounce it?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah. That's my final answer.
It is 3, though.
I knew it. See, if you like butchered the name, I never would have guessed that.
Come on. Finish computing them. There we go. All right, so the Oregon one was definitely the hardest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got that. You got everyone on that.
Got a lot of peeps with that one.
All right, so let's see. The end of round 3. What do we got here? Any changes in the leaderboard? We got Samantha is on the board. We got Buff Edits with 3. Oh, hang on, not right in here. There we go. And then Sean with 2. So we kind of got some disparity here. A lot of close people though. I'm telling you, got a lot of people. 4th, 5th, 6th places they're filling up with some close answers. So it's about
this. Good to go to the next round.
Let's do it. What do we got now?
Sports.
Buffett says you sound surprised. Don't even know how to respond to that. You said, what is this one? You said sports?
Yep.
It's going to separate everyone right here. Because this is an important round. Essentially, if Buff Edits places in this one and Steph and Sean do not, then he's going to seal the deal. Question number 1. What town in Texas does the novel Friday Night Lights primarily focus on? Midland, Arlington, Odessa, or Allen? I joke because we have an Odessa like 2 miles from Kyle lives in Odessa. So that's where he went to school. Now it takes place in Odessa, right?
It is Odessa, Texas, Odessa Permian.
I've never seen the show or read the novel.
Have you seen the movie?
No, I never. It's on Netflix now. I just saw it pop up.
I love it. It's one of the best sports movies. The book is phenomenal. It's kind of heartbreaking.
Oh boy, way to spoil it.
Well, I didn't tell you what happens, but yes, it is Odessa, Texas. It is a really good book, though. See, I read, occasionally.
Mitch says, "What's his exact address?" Well, Mitch, you're kitty corner from him, so maybe I should. I'll just give your address. Question number 2. What player is the NBA logo design based on? Michael Jordan, Oscar Robinson, Jerry West, or Julius Erving? I, as a huge NBA fan, would hope a lot of people know this, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know how well known this is.
Looks like most people, I think, getting it.
So Jerry West his nickname literally is the logo for that reason. There has been talks about changing it, and I'm not gonna lie, I just keep it. Why change what? It's such an iconic logo.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think at this point, it's like they've had it for how many years, and everybody knows the logo.
Mm-hmm. It's like a pause there for a minute. All right, here we go. Question number 3. Who famously knocked out an undefeated Mike Tyson in the greatest upset in boxing history? Michael Spinks, Lennox Lewis, Buster Douglas, or Evander Holyfield? This is a really hard. I'm a huge Tyson fan, and I've seen the fight many a time. And this guy got knocked down first, and the count went well past 10.
Yeah, it did.
And
it did.
And the ref did not call it off and continued the fight. And Buster Douglas, anyone named Buster, you just know they're kind of like bleh. Like they just kind of.
I should have put James Douglas because that was his real name.
That would have been interesting. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it now. It's like, crap, I should have put James instead of Buster.
Why would you want to go by Buster? I don't know. To me, that's not.
I don't know. Yeah, no, that's that effectively right there, kind of solidified the downfall of Tyson.
Yeah. Lennox Lewis and Michael Spinks and everything all had good careers as well. But question number 4: Baker Mayfield ended up as perhaps the best QB ever to play at Oklahoma. Where did he start his college career before there? UCF, Texas State, Oklahoma State, or Texas Tech? I do know this one because this was a big deal.
I'm curious. I was gonna say I'm curious if Dan knows this.
Baker's my boy. I like Baker Mayfield. So he started
I do love Baker Mayfield.
He started at Texas Tech.
Yep.
And people were pissed when he switched because Texas and Oklahoma are not big fans here. Like any Texas school hates Oklahoma, essentially.
Do you know what's interesting about Baker Mayfield as well?
That he's
he's the only person to ever win the Heisman and be drafted number 1 as a former walk-on. He actually walked on at Texas Tech.
Huh.
And then there was a whole lot of problems with his scholarship. He felt like he earned it. He won the starting job as a freshman, and there was a whole problem there. That's why he went to Oklahoma.
Wow. Final question for sports. Kobe Bryant spent his entire NBA career with the Lakers. However, another team drafted him, and he was traded on draft night. The New Jersey Nets, Indiana Pacers, Charlotte Hornets, or the Philadelphia 76ers. So this is a really interesting story because a lot of teams wanted Kobe. No one ever really at that point thought highly of guys coming out of high school. It was kind of a gimmick thing. And the Charlotte Hornets ended up drafting him, and essentially he refused to play for him.
It's interesting, too, because the New Jersey Nets actually, John Calipari wanted to draft him.
Yeah, really bad.
And then they ended up taking Kerry Kittles instead. Calipari wanted him. Ownership did not want them to take a high school kid. And so a lot of people say like that basically effectively ended Calipari's NBA coaching career right there. Had he have drafted Kobe, he probably would have never ended up at Kentucky.
The funny thing is, though,
Memphis first and then Kentucky.
Kerry Kittles was never a bad player. He had a good career.
He was a good player.
He just gets a lot of hate for that. All right, so we got Sean ties up Buff Edits with 3. Sam's got 2 now, and Caden gets on the board. So we could have possibly a tiebreaker going in. What's the final one, Kyle?
Music. I'm trying to remember the questions.
Joey Buff Edit says Kerry Kittles is the GOAT. I'm assuming he's talking about Kerry Kittles. Honestly, he definitely is the GOAT and the best name ever. Kerry Kittles.
Kerry Kittles. It's like sounds like a dog food.
Yeah, it does. All right.
Here we go.
I'm trying to come up with a final question because I have a feeling we're going to have a tiebreaker here.
I think you might be right. All right. Number 1, before launching a successful solo career, which female group was Beyonce part of? Destiny's Child, TLC, Spice Girls, Salt and Peppa. All right, I couldn't take number 4 seriously. I just couldn't think of another one to throw down there, so I put that in there.
We actually saw Salt and Peppa a couple years ago at a concert. It was a free concert. They were actually not bad. I mean,
did I actually spell it right, like how they spell it?
I have no idea.
I didn't look it up.
I feel like they would do Salt in Peppa, so like probably an N there with an apostrophe. But everybody got that one. I'm not gonna lie. I thought someone would guess one of the other ones, but when Kyle makes the questions, they're just too easy. Apparently,
I guess so. They're either like super hard or they're not. So, all right, number 2. Which of these was not a member of NSYNC? Joey Fatone, Nick Carter, Lance Bass, Justin Timberlake.
If it's even a question, if you're a Backstreet Boys fanatic like I am, you know which one doesn't belong here. NSYNC is overrated.
I would agree. I definitely preferred the Backstreet Boys.
Yep. Dude, Backstreet Boys are still throwing out some good songs here and there. Just saying. So Nick Carter actually, his younger brother Aaron, who had like one hit years and years ago, he's been kind of in and out of the spotlight only because of like his personal life. Seems like he's dealing with a lot of issues, and it's kind of sad.
Let's see.
Kyle, you got another everyone two in a row here. This is going to come down to time.
Number 3, who sings Here I Go Again? Metallica, White Snake, Poison, Quiet Riot. Do you know, Dan?
Kyle, give me a break here. White Snake doesn't have many other songs. They have 2 other songs that are one other song that's okay. That's about it. Honestly, I'm not a big Metallica fan, like at all.
I'm not really either.
I like Enter Sandman's a good song. Poison's okay, and Quiet Riot, same thing. Like none of them, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, they all had like a couple of good songs.
Yeah,
but none of them did any of them slap?
Not really. Enter Sandman kind of slaps. I'm not gonna lie.
Nothing like the Backstreet Boys, though.
Mm-mm.
All right, number 4. Eminem's 8 Mile is based off a street in which city? This was actually a game question. This was not mine. New York, Chicago, Detroit, Los Angeles.
Kyle's just making this easy on everyone.
We had to make it a little simpler tonight after the Olympic one the other night.
That was a massacre. That was a tough one. But to be fair, when you and I were making the questions, we didn't know any of them. But the more you learn, that's the whole point of this. You want to show off your big brain knowledge in trivia, but also you learn so much. So I've seen the movie, and I've seen it a couple times.
I've actually never seen the movie.
It's there. It's okay. I mean, Eminem does a good job, but he's essentially playing himself, so it's not like it's really acting. It's okay.
Is it actually like a kind of like his life, or is it something?
It's kind of like I think they weave in and out. Like there's a lot of things that are like, I don't know.
Number 5. What is 50 Cent's real name? Curtis Johnson, Derek Jackson, Derek Johnson, or Curtis Jackson?
So fun fact about 50 Cent is he has made considerably more money off investments, specifically LifeWater back in the late 2000s. He invested in LifeWater before it got bought out by Coca-Cola. When it got bought out, he made
he made a ton of money.
Tens and tens of millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially saved him because I think he blew most of his rap money.
Yeah.
But I believe those investments and the Beats, I think he invested in as well by Dr. Dre.
I think he was in Beats by Dre and maybe a couple other things. But yeah, he made a lot of money rapping, but he made way more money in his investments.
Let's see. I actually would have picked number 1 just right off. Like as soon as I read it, I was like, "Oh, that's the one." Then I realized you did a little sneak here.
I almost read it as number 1. I almost read it as Curtis Jackson. I had to like catch myself for a second.
All right. So what do we got here? We have Buff Edits with 4, Sean with 4. We have a tie, and Stephanie with 3. Sam with 2, and Caden and Curtis with 1. So we do have a tie between Sean and Buff Edits.
Oh boy!
And I feel like we gotta have a tiebreaker. What category should we do? Should it be something we've done tonight, or should we do anything?
I say anything. It's a random one.
Let me look real quick. I'm gonna pull one up.
That's right. I'm gonna look something up right now too. What could the tiebreaker be?
All right, okay. So this is. I'll go. You go ahead. You got one.
Do yours first, just because I'm wondering if. Yeah, go ahead. Do yours first. I don't know if mine's going to be too easy or.
Okay.
Yeah, do yours.
In feet, how deep? Whoever gets the closest, anyone can answer, but this is between Buff Edits and Sean. Whoever gets closest will win. In feet, what is the deepest lake in the world? How deep does it go? Kyle, you can take a guess too. Buffett, it says 156,000 feet. I think the ocean probably isn't even that deep, but maybe it is. I'm sure at some points it is, but it says 750. What's the Krabby Patty secret formula? Or formula, I should say. Secret formula. Curtis says 666. Buffett says 500. Sean says 20,000. No one's really close yet. Sean's too high and Buffett is too low with
5,000.
Sam's 5,000 is very close. Very close. It is. So do one more question, Kyle, since no one got that really too quick. It was 5,315 feet. 5,300 feet. That is insane.
Wow.
So do you have another question here?
All right. So we'll go Harry Potter. Just off the top of my head. All right.
Okay.
J.K. Rowling basically said that Dumbledore is Latin for what word?
Hold the shit. Oh man. Dumbledore is Latin. It's Latin for something? Is that real?
I think it's Latin. I don't know, something like that. But Dumbledore means something else.
It's something. Wisdom.
I think it's Latin because I think she gets a lot of her stuff from Latin. Maybe.
Buffett says wisdom. Is that no? Nope. Sorry. Curtis says light skin. No, I don't think Dumbledore was a light skin. All right. What is it, Kyle? They had their guess.
Bumblebee.
What? Why?
Because she imagined him walking around the castle halls humming to himself.
Okay. All right. Do you want to do one? Do we want to do another one real quick?
Yeah.
Let's try to get one that is a little less obscure. Let's have someone pick a category. Someone pick a category, and we'll pick it. They'll pick it, and then we'll get a question out of it.
Let's go Disney.
Okay. Apparently, we're going Disney.
Let's do it. We're going Disney.
Brooke says another one. All right. DJ Khaled. Yeah. Random facts about him.
Okay, Caden says Star Wars.
Okay. I feel like that's probably pretty fair between Buffett and Sean.
I got it.
Kyle's got the question too. He's
all right. In Return of the Jedi, when Luke takes off Vader's mask, who is the actor that plays Anakin Skywalker?
You made all your questions cupcake questions, and then you come up with ones like this. Honestly.
A true Star Wars fan would know this.
Oh, man.
Does Dan know?
Yes. I believe I do. Yes.
Oh, shit. Look at that.
Sebastian Shaw.
Wow, Sean. Nicely done.
It says Patrick Starr. Yes. Grievous got his coughing condition because Mace Windu crushed his chest plate like an alpha.
I'm impressed by Sean getting that so quickly. I thought that was going to be very, very difficult.
So we're gonna hand it to Sean when we'll give Buff Edits a 1.2 second place.
Damn right.
Oh, a 90s cartoon theme would be fun. That'd be a good one to do.
Cool. It's like the golden age.
The golden age.
Ah, yes.
Go the dog times before CGI.
That's right.
All right. So we'll see you guys. Thank you so much for playing, guys. We'll see you on Monday. I don't know exactly what we're doing on Monday for a theme. I don't know if we have one picked out yet. We
I
usually
don't,
figure it out on.
I don't know if we. Yeah, we got to figure that one out.
But
yeah, definitely watch out for that video on Saturday too.
Yes. So once again, guys, thank you so much for playing, and everyone have a good night.
Have a great night.
We'll